Hello everyone, welcome to CBS Institute. In this video, we are going to discuss some of the recent important current affairs. Okay, see, in a democratic country, elections are held. Elections are held, and the legitimate political party that got victory in these elections will rule the country for a certain period. Okay, see, after the political party got victory, the prime minister or president in some countries will allocate ministries or portfolios to the persons who got victory in the elections. Okay, so these persons will become ministers. Okay, see, recently in the country New Zealand, elections were held. Okay, Jacinda Ardern became the prime minister of the country New Zealand. Okay, she is associated with the political party that is Labour Party. Okay, Labour Party. See, this election assumed significance because she allocated portfolios to the persons who got elected. Okay, one of them was Priyanka Radhakrishnan. Okay, Priyanka Radhakrishnan. Here it assumes significance because Priyanka Radhakrishnan was born in Chennai. Okay, Priyanka Radhakrishnan was born in Chennai, means she is Indian origin person. Okay, Indian origin person. Later her parents moved to the country New Zealand. Okay, so here she participated in elections. Okay, and she has been allocated a ministership in the elections. Okay, that is associate minister. Okay, associate minister for social development and empowerment. Okay, social development and empowerment. See, Indian origin person became a minister in another country. Okay, so this becomes important from our exam point of view. Okay, so question could be, recently an Indian origin person became minister in the country New Zealand. What is her name? Could be a question in our exam. Okay, see, Priyanka Radhakrishnan. Okay, so next one, Priyanka Radhakrishnan has become a minister in a country recently. Okay, what is the name of the country? Could also be a question. Okay, so this is New Zealand. Okay, so Jacinda Ardern became the prime minister of the country New Zealand. Okay, so New Zealand capital city is Wellington. Okay, so New Zealand dollar. Okay, New Zealand dollar is the currency. Okay, New Zealand dollar is the currency. So we can expect a question like this. Okay, so Priyanka Radhakrishnan became minister in which of the following countries? Okay, that is New Zealand. Whenever a country comes into news, we will have to know basic at least 2 points. First one is capital city and next one is currency. So Wellington is the capital city of New Zealand. Okay, so New Zealand dollar is the currency. Okay, so remember it, it is very important, and also this type of news, okay, important for our upcoming exams. Okay, next one, see, under the Ministry of Science and Technology, works a department that is Department of Science and Technology. Under this department works a board that is called SERB. Okay, SERB stands for Science and Engineering Research Board. Science and Engineering Research Board, which works under the Department of Science and Technology, which further works under the Ministry of Science and Technology. Okay, so present Minister for Science and Technology is Harshvardhan. Okay, see, recently SERB has launched a fellowship scheme for women researchers, that is titled as SERB Power. What SERB stands for here? Science and Engineering Research Board. Okay, so power stands for promoting opportunities for women in exploratory research. promoting opportunities for women in exploratory research. Okay, so in our exam a question can be asked like this. Recently a fellowship called SERB Power has been launched. Okay, here what E stands for can be a question. Okay, what B stands for, otherwise what P stands for in SERB Power. Okay, so this is actually a fellowship. Okay, fellowship program. Okay, fellowship program launched by SERB. Okay, under this actually main objective of SERB Power is to encourage women researchers to take up research and development activities in engineering and research. Okay, engineering. So this is important. What O stands for, what W stands for, what E stands for can be questions in our exam. Okay, see under this women scientists, okay, who are 33 to 35 years of age are eligible. Okay, so here 10 lakh per annum will be provided to the women researchers. Okay, this is especially for women researchers. Okay, so 10 lakh per annum, additionally 90,000 per annum overhead expenses will also be provided. Okay, so here it is important. Okay, SERB Power, this is a fellowship program. Okay, next one, recently Global Finance. Okay, Global Finance, a publication company based in United States of America, that is New York. Okay, so Global Finance, a publication company, has published list of 50 safest banks 2020. Okay, so they are not vulnerable to attacks, cyber attacks. Okay, see list of 50 safest banks in the world. Okay, so according to the list released by Global Finance, a publication company based in United States of America, the safest bank, okay, so first rank was given to KfW Bank. It is in Germany. Okay, KfW, so this is actually German based bank. Okay, so there could be a question, according to Global Finance list of 50 safest banks 2020, which of the following banks is the safest bank in the world? Okay, so that is KfW, that is in Germany. Okay, see this is world's safest bank. Okay, this is world's safest bank. In Asia, okay, in ASEAN region, DBS, Development Bank of Singapore. Okay, so this is in country Singapore. DBS Bank is the first, okay, safest bank in the region, that is Asia. Okay, so world's safest bank is KfW and Asia's safest bank is DBS, Development Bank of Singapore. In India, according to the Global Finance, State Bank of India is the safest bank. Okay, State Bank of India is the safest bank, okay, in India. So this becomes important. According to Global Finance, which of the following banks has emerged as the safest bank in India according to Global Finance? Okay, there could be a question like this, that is State Bank of India. Okay, so these 3 points are important. If it is Asia, DBS, that is Development Bank of Singapore, this is KfW, this is State Bank of India in country India. Okay, next one, see recently Japanese Bank for International Cooperation. Okay, Japanese Bank for International Cooperation has been in news. See recently 2 Indian companies, first one is NTPC, that is power company. NTPC has signed a loan agreement with JBIC. Okay, see Japanese Bank for International Cooperation, this is headquartered at Tokyo. Okay, Tokyo, that is the capital city of Japan. Okay, what is the currency? currency of Japan is yen, yen. Okay, so recently NTPC has signed a loan agreement with Japanese Bank for International Cooperation. Okay, so under this loan agreement, JBIC, that is Japanese Bank for International Cooperation, will provide 50 billion, okay, 50 billion Japanese yen, okay, Japanese yen. So this is approximately 2,582 crores. Okay, so Japanese yen will be provided to the company NTPC. Okay, so this amount will be used for renewable energy. This amount will be used for renewable energy. See, a question can be asked, which of the following power companies in India has signed a loan agreement with JBIC recently? Okay, so question can be asked like this, that is NTPC. Okay, so headquartered at New Delhi, Gurdeep Singh is the chief of NTPC. Okay, so 50 billion Japanese yen. Okay, so 2,582 crore in Indian rupees. See, next one, recently State Bank of India also signed a loan agreement with JBIC. Okay, State Bank of India also signed a loan agreement with Japanese Bank for International Cooperation, headquartered at Tokyo. Okay, see, under this loan agreement, JBIC will provide $1 billion, approximately 7,400 crore to the bank SBI. Okay, so amount will be provided to the State Bank of India. Okay, again this amount, okay, whatever the amount that SBI got from JBIC will be given to Japanese automobiles. Okay, Japanese automobiles in the country India. Okay, so same amount will be provided to Japanese automobiles. Okay, for example Suzuki, Nissan. Okay, so there are several automobile companies in India. Okay, in order to support them. Okay, so SBI has signed a loan agreement with JBIC. Okay, that is $1 billion. A question can be asked like this, which of the following banks in India has recently signed a loan agreement with JBIC for providing the same amount to Japanese automobiles? Okay, that is State Bank of India. Okay, so NTPC and SBI both have signed a loan agreement with Japanese Bank for International Cooperation. See, SBI, the largest public sector bank in India, always comes into news. Okay, always comes into news. So the basic details of SBI are also important. Okay, so let me explain, let me give you the brief history of State Bank of India. Okay, in 1840s, okay, in 1840s there were majorly three banks. Okay, other banks were also there. Majorly Bank of Bengal, Bank of Bombay and Bank of Madras. Okay, Bank of Madras. Okay, so these were the main banks then in 1840s. Okay, see, these three banks were called presidency banks. Okay, presidency banks. Okay, presidency banks. Okay, so a question can be asked giving the options, which of the following is not presidency banks? Okay, for example, option Bank of Maharashtra. Okay, these three are presidency banks and Bank of Maharashtra is not the presidency banks. Okay, again on January 27th in 1921, Government of India, okay, government of the time, okay, at that moment, okay, it is government of the time. Okay, so merged these three banks. Okay, merged these three banks and established as a single bank. Okay, so single bank was named as Imperial Bank of India. Okay, Imperial Bank of India. Okay, Imperial Bank of India. Again, Government of India took the possession of the bank, okay, in the year 1956. Okay, July 1st, okay, July 1st, the Imperial Bank of India was renamed as State Bank of India. Okay, so previous name of State Bank of India is Imperial Bank of India. Okay, so that is why July 1st is observed as State Bank of India Day. Okay, so basic history is important from examination point of view, any competitive examination point of view here. Okay, see next one, World Polio Day. World Polio Day. Okay, we can expect a question in our mains exam. Okay, so World Polio Day is observed on October 24th every year. October 24th every year. This is to commemorate the birth anniversary of American virologist Jonas Salk. Okay, Jonas Salk. Okay, so who led the team which later invented the vaccine for polio. Okay, so in order to commemorate the birth anniversary of American virologist Jonas Salk, World Polio Day is observed on October 24th. Okay, so this is the birthday of Jonas Salk. Okay, see this year theme, okay, a win against polio is a win against global health. Okay, global health. So this is the theme of World Polio Day 2020. Okay, so question can be asked like this: World Polio Day is observed on, okay, that is October 24th. Okay, so World Polio Day 2020 theme is a win against polio is a win against global health. Okay, so whenever you come across important days, you will have to know the themes of these particular days. Okay, see next one. See, among the many problems that India is facing, okay, one of the problems is corruption. So corruption is prevalent in governmental sector as well as in private sector. Okay, so in order to tackle the issues of corruption, Government of India in the year 1964 set up CVC, that is Central Vigilance Commission. Central Vigilance Commission. Okay, so in order to tackle the issues of corruption in government departments, in order to tackle the issues of corruption in governmental departments, so Central Vigilance Commission was set up in the year 1964. Okay, see here is not important, okay, but Central Vigilance Commission. Okay, so the Central Vigilance Commission is headed by Central Vigilance Commissioner. Okay, it is headed by Central Vigilance Commissioner. Central Vigilance Commission is headed by the head of the Central Vigilance Commission is Central Vigilance Commissioner. Okay, so present to Central Vigilance Commissioner is Sanjay Kothari. Okay, Sanjay Kothari. So recently CVC has come into news because from October 27th to November 2nd 2020, okay, October 27th to November 2nd 2020, CVC observed Vigilance Awareness Week. Vigilance Awareness Week. Okay, so there could be a question: Vigilance Awareness Week was observed from which date to which date? That is October 27th to November 2nd 2020. Okay, see, present Central Vigilance Commissioner is Sanjay Kothari. Okay, see here. So these are the points very important from our exams point of view, any competitive exam. Okay, see another important point here: Vigilant India and Prosperous India. Vigilant India and Prosperous India is the theme of Vigilance Awareness Week, that is 2020. Okay, so there can be a question with regard to theme also. Okay.